Hello, welcome to the Triangle. Israel Rivera is dealing with his car and other things, so he's not going to join us today. We got TJ Hopkins and David Huffman here, so we're going to talk about the Super Bowl, and then we're going to talk about some stuff going on in the NBA. How did you feel about the Super Bowl? That defense, Carolina for Denver, really good.
I mean, first quarter was back and forth defensive battle.
Mm-hmm.
We saw something like we saw the offense like able to move the ball a little bit like on both sides. Like I think Denver got down to like a first and goal situation, but they only walk out of it with 3.
Yeah, in the first possession.
Yeah, and then Carolina, I don't think they scored to the second quarter, right?
No, the Denver's defense was smothering
and
basically the entire game.
Like it was, and then like second quarter, Von Miller strips and.
It happened in the first quarter.
Was that first quarter?
Yeah, that was their first possession on offense, I think.
Well, anyway, it was 10-0, and it's all like, well, okay, well, the defense is here to play, but in that second quarter, I kind of thought it was gonna get competitive because
Carolina went down the field fairly easily, got that touchdown.
Yeah, and it's like I said,
man, I've never seen somebody jump so high. It's like for that, and he was like way out there. Like
they call Cam Superman.
Yeah, shout out to Stewart, man.
My man's flew, but it's like I kind of like I said Denver would win if they were able to contain Cam Newton. And that second quarter, it kind of looked like, well, it's gonna be I want to say a long day, but like Cam was able to break containment on that drive, and it's like it also like. I feel like it would have been a better game if some of those passes that Cam threw were actually caught.
Yeah, I mean the one on the sidelines by Kotchery.
I mean, like the overthrows, like you can't really do.
Yeah, that's just pressure. He needs to work on his accuracy.
You can't really do nothing about that. But it's like
that one by Kotchery, man. That's not the questionable one. The other one on the sidelines.
That was like a straight drop.
Yeah, like he should definitely have that. Like you should definitely catch that. I think his lack of receivers really got exposed because they shut down Greg Olsen. Did he even have a catch? I don't even know.
I think he had like 2 or 3.
Like he was invisible.
He was not the red zone threat that we know he is.
Yeah, I think they had T.J. Ward on him. They had him locking him down.
He had like 2 or 3 on him.
Yeah, like when you got no other weapons.
I mean, like Greg Olsen's good, but he ain't Gronk. Like that's like.
Greg Olsen is up in that tier.
Like he's up there, but it's like if Gronk is double teamed, he's still catching it. Greg Olsen is.
But even Denver was doing a good job shutting down Gronk before T.J. Ward and Darian Stewart got injured in the AFC Championship game. Yes. Like Gronk wasn't really having that big an impact until both those guys got hurt.
But it's like I agree 100% with Von Miller getting.
No. MVP. If anybody else had gotten it, it would have been just embarrassing. Like, who else would you give it to? Man, he was dominant. I mean, he was unblockable.
Like if I had a choice not named Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, because he calls.
You gotta give it to one of those safeties or.
He caused havoc just as much as Von Miller did. Well, it's like hats off to both teams. Like Carolina, like. Honestly, they was a surprise team of the year. Like one year, you go.
Yeah, I thought people knew they were going to be decent.
Like one year, they was like what 7-8-1.
They made the playoffs last year. Well, I know that they didn't have a winning record or anything.
It was like 7-8-1, and then you turn that around to 15-1.
Yeah,
15-2,
17-1,
17-1, 17-2, whatever.
They're going to be an up-and-coming team for a while. Like if they're going to get Benjamin back.
They probably gonna go into the draft and get another receiver.
I don't know.
I mean, I would.
I don't know. I think they have needs elsewhere, and they need another corner on the other side of Josh Norman.
Yeah, especially since Peanut Tillman's probably
retiring.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, it was a great game. Like I just.
Or pass rusher. They could use the pass rusher too.
Oh yeah.
Like Charles Johnson's getting up there. Jared Allen's getting up there. They don't have any really young studs at that position to really play.
Yeah, but it's like I just don't like the handling of the media of like Cam Newton afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's like they calling him immature and like lose with grace, and it's all like, dude, he just lost the biggest game.
I think if you just lost the Super Bowl, you'd be in a bad mood too.
Right.
Like you wouldn't be like all chipper and cheery.
And like,
but I do think he needs to compose himself a little bit better during that press conference. And I know I heard about the Chris Harris thing. But I think you just have to go through the motions. Like, you can't just walk out. Like, you just have to get through it. Like, you just have to get through the press conference. Like, you just have to contain yourself and compose yourself. Like, you don't even have to finish it. Like, you don't even have to answer, like, all the questions all that good. Like, just, like, yeah, short answers. I had no problem with his answers. Like, just leaving the press conference. I don't know. I just think he could have done a better job.
I mean, it's like...
But he did just lose the biggest game of his career, and who knows if he'll ever get back. There's a list of quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying. It's like most people go their entire career.
Yeah, like, there are a lot of... Dan Marino only went to one. Everybody thought he was guaranteed to go back to several. Never happened. Sexy Rexy only went to one. There, Israel put something on Facebook.
It was a list of quarterbacks.
Yeah, and...
They were like
26. I never even heard of.
It was like 20. They was like quarterbacks 26 or
25. Yeah, 27. Yeah, 20. Something like that.
Like at the age 26 to reach their first Super Bowl and never went back. And it's like
some of those guys I'd never heard of. Like I'm telling you, like I was like, who is this?
I only recognize Marino and Grossman.
Oh, Sexy Rexy.
Honestly, but it's like don't call him immature. Like he just lost the biggest game of his career. Like don't call him immature. And he channeled his inner Vince Lombardi when he heard the whole criticism. He's like you show me a good loser, then I'll be a good loser. Mm-hmm. It's like, he's like, yes, I am a sore loser, and he was supposed to be.
And I hope Cam Newton bounces back. I hope he goes to many, because he's really fun to watch and root for, because he's like his story is so compelling. Like they're getting kicked out of Florida, having to go to that community college, going to end up at Auburn, winning the national championship, winning the Heisman. Like he is like that story, like the guy, and the recovery story.
And he's faced
it's just similar to like AI story almost, but like without as much of the crime.
Like, and he's faced like the real trials and tribulations of a rookie quarterback. Like he's a rookie quarterback. He comes in like, you a rookie phenom. You breaking records your first two games, but you losing. Mm-hmm. And it's like you lost a lot your first
couple years. Yeah,
3 years, and it's all like you on the sideline, the towel over your head, body language negative. It's all like. You used to winning. Like, you was a beast in high school. You was a beast in college.
Yeah.
And then you come to the NFL where everybody's...
I think that transition is hard for a lot of players in the NFL. Like, they come from, like, these colleges where they're just beasting all the time, and then they realize that they're just, like, another average Joe most of the time.
Because, like, he goes to the NFL like, man, it's DNs the same size as him, running just as fast as him.
That transition may be even more difficult for the NBA players. Like, they go their whole, like, before they get into the NBA, like, they're, like, the man. They're the man in the high school, they're the man in college, and then they come into the NBA, and it's like not on this day. Like, nah, you ain't nothing.
But hats off to the Denver Broncos, 2016 champs.
Yep, well deserved.
Well deserved. Like, not my pick by far, because
you're a hater.
I'm not a hater. I just the way Manning was playing earlier this season.
He didn't play all that good in this game either.
I mean, no, cause like
he didn't need to.
Like my thing is like Denver only had. I want to say 100.
Their offense was terrible.
They had like 169 yards of offense.
Yeah.
Carolina had over 300, and Carolina only put up 10 points.
Yeah, like Denver's defense is like those old Bears defense. Bend and don't break. Get those stops, because in order to
different era, but yeah.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about like those early, like those old, like the Bears that went to the Super Bowl. They have defense, like those defense. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about them Buckets defense or the Singletary defenses. I'm not talking about that.
A lot of people
come on, no.
I know if you go on Facebook, a lot of people have been comparing this Denver defense to
I was curious about that, because I wanted to see like if the points differentials were so much different, and it really, they're like nothing. Like the Bears defense was that much more dominant than this Denver defense. Like the Bears defense is like 85 Bear defense is
4 shutouts in the playoffs compared to 0 for Denver.
I mean, it's also points. Like you look at their points per game allowed. I think they only allowed like 100 points, 190 something points for the entire season. And Denver allowed like 300. And I know there's like more offense, but when you look at it, it's really not that much. Compared,
give or take a different rule here and there.
Yeah.
It's like, if they do if.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, people will be getting ejected all the time. So is this it for Manning? Or do you think he comes back?
I think he's done.
He looks done. He looks done.
I mean, like, at this point, what more do you have to prove? Why come back?
Yeah, I love how they're poking fun at that Eli Manning stuff.
Yeah, that was funny. Like I saw.
Did you see about the Jimmy?
Like, I saw one meme. It was all like, "Well, you ain't the family favorite no more."
Did you see he went on Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel, one of the two, yesterday or the day before. He's like, they have the cutout of
Peyton Manning's like, this is why I love the internet. Like they saw that. I saw his face. I'm all like, that is gonna be a meme forever. And it's like 2 minutes within that happening. Like 2 minutes within that happening, it's all like, oh, there it is. There it goes. That's a meme. Yep. I was like, I was just waiting on it. Like I go on Twitter and I see that when you realize you ain't the family favorite no more. Come on, man. Y'all too quick.
they got it on Fallon or Kimball. They like, guess what, Eli? You're gonna be an uncle, and then he's like, Eli, I'm gonna be able to come back to the Super. I'm gonna be able to play football again.
But it's like, but I also think I saw like a conversation on Facebook. It was like the Manning Brady conversation gets more interesting. I'm all like, 4 rings are still better than 2.
Yeah, but he's been to 4 Super Bowls. He's the only quarterback in the history of the NFL to go to 4 Super Bowls with 4 different coaches. He's the only quarterback in history to go to 2 Super Bowls with 2 different teams. Like that's some stuff you can't really dispute.
I mean, granted,
he's the only one to ever do it. He also got 5 MVPs to Brady's 2,
which is bull.
I mean, Brady could easily have more, but the way that the offense is structured, he doesn't get the recognition maybe he quote unquote deserves, because people are like, oh, you could just put any quarterback in that system. That's not true.
That's so not true. But it's like I kind of like would Brady rather have 4 Super Bowls or 5 MVPs? I'm gonna take them Super Bowls. I mean, like,
I think
they're both Hall of Famers. It's all when it's all said and done. But Manning's done. I really think like
he looks very,
like he looked like honestly like the
he looked so satisfied when he was like getting that trophy. Like he looked.
It's like when he beat the Bears. Right, when he beat the Bears back in 2006, it was like he got the monkey off his back.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I feel like he got the monkey off his back now too.
And now he got it off again because it's like it's literally been 10 years since he won his last.
It's not even that. It's just the one. Like there are a lot of people that have like that one ring and like
they're good with that.
No, it's not even that. Like these quarterbacks
that one, they're like, I got one, I'm good.
Like they have there's like these non-elite quarterbacks that have like the one ring, like a Brad Johnson, or a Trent Dilfer, or Doug Williams, or Jim McMahon, who like weren't like these upper echelon quarterbacks, and like Peyton Manning only having the one puts it like same with Brett Favre. I always wanted Brett Favre to set himself above those other guys.
I always thought Brett Favre had like 3, but he only has one.
Yeah, they got the one where they beat down Drew Bledsoe and the New England Patriots, and then they got tomahawked by the John Elway-led Denver Broncos.
Nice use of verb.
Yeah. So you know what's interesting? If you had to pick between these 2 guys all time, Elway or Manning all time? The boss versus the player.
I kind of feel like those Elway teams were slightly better.
He went to 5 Super Bowls, lost 3 of them in epic fashion, and then he won 2 rings at the end when he had Terrell Davis as his running back.
I mean, like, has Peyton really ever had?
He's never had a really great defense, like until now.
Until now, so.
Yeah. I mean, his offenses have always been. The offenses are different now than they were when LA was like younger.
And like when Manning was in Indy, like his defense was good, but they had as opposed to like being great as a whole, they had a few solid
Bob Sanders and
individual like Bob Sanders, Dwight Freeney, like
Robert Mathis.
So it's like you had great individual players. Like this Denver defense, they kill you as a whole.
Yeah, their defense is stacked. So I want Peyton Manning to be done. I really want to see him go out. This is the way that he deserves to go out. I don't want to see him struggle through another season where he's constantly having to worry about like injuries and such. I want him to get out now.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, I kind of feel like the savior of the season. Like you may look at me from like the defense had a big part to do it, but like Brock Osweiler was able, like he was able. No,
I know he was 5-2 as a starter,
but he was able to at least hold it down until Manning got back.
I agree.
So
he's gonna get the ring.
Like he ain't like that.
Man, they're gonna have to make a decision about him money wise.
Like the defense is the real savior.
He's a free agent after this season.
Like the defense is the real savior of the season, but it was his ability to at least
keep the ship afloat.
Keep it afloat. Because like we knew, because at that point it was a question mark if Manning was even coming back.
Yeah, true.
So it's like when they needed him, he came in and he, like Osweiler went out like 5-2 as a starter.
Yep. They didn't play very good teams, but
I mean they did, but it's like
it doesn't matter who you play. You just gotta win the games.
You just gotta win.
Yep.
You just gotta win.
Okay, and so if you had to make an early Super Bowl prediction for next year, who are you gonna take?
I would love to see Carolina back.
I'm gonna say Carolina Steelers.
But like that's the thing, like it's hard for me to.
The AFC is difficult because
like I'm gonna go Brady
all
day long.
Of course you are.
But like Carolina, I mean like they
Arizona. I love Arizona.
Like you know how they like,
really love
you know how they
Arizona.
like release the favorites like Seattle's like an 8-1 favorite.
Man, if they get Matt Forte,
he's that's one of my 3 possible destinations for him.
If they get Forte,
I have him going either back home to New Orleans.
That's a good spot for him too. They don't really have a running game.
I have him going.
Mark Ingram. They paid a lot of money for Mark Ingram.
And I have him going to New England.
Deion Lewis is injured still.
And I have him going to Seattle.
Man, if he goes to Seattle, like be the third down back to Thomas Rolls or whatever they want to do. All right, so we're gonna talk about the Hall of Fame. So the people they got in on first ballot: Brett Favre, Marvin Harrison, Tony Dungy. People who finally got in: Kevin Green, Orlando Pace, Eddie DeBartolo, Ken Stabler, and Dick Stanfel. Are you good?
No.
I'm good.
No.
I'm good.
I am not good with that. I mean, like, hats off to everybody that made it, but that list is one player short.
Dude, I totally disagree with you on this, dude. Terrell Owens is, I know he's got, like, because he played forever, and there's a reason that he played on 5 different teams, and all these other people that were, like, all of these Hall of Fame receivers, like, they all are, like, one team. They don't play for other, like, he was
Jerry Rice bounced around.
One team, 2. He went to the Raiders, and then he went to San Francisco. Basically, he just played the garbage time of his career at, like, the Raiders.
And he went to Denver, and he was in Seattle.
He was.
Yes, he was.
All right, well, it's just garbage time.
He finished, his 20th season was in Denver. After that one, he was done.
He played 18 years in San Fran, or 17 years in San Fran.
He did not play long in San Fran.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, my God.
Don't look it up right now. I'm pretty sure he played a long time. So, listen. I just feel like T.O. was so toxic in so many of those situations. I think that hurt his... I think that hurt him a little.
You can't let personal judgment block what a player did on the field. It's not right.
I just feel like Marvin Harrison was a lock,
right.
A lock, first of all, Hall of Famer. Marvin Harrison, lock.
And T.O. not. T.O. was way better than Marvin. I ain't gonna say way better. T.O. was better than Marvin Harrison.
No way.
So if you had to choose between T.O. and Marvin Harrison, you're going Marvin Harrison over T.O.
Yeah.
You want a drink? I need a drink. You want a drink? You need some alcohol in your
life. I'm good, man.
Oh my God!
No, I'd rather.
He is literally second or third in every statistical
category. I understand.
For wide receivers, behind Jerry Rice, behind Randy Moss.
I understand.
Then there's T.O.
I understand.
He should have been on this list. To leave him off this list, to make him wait another.
I just think there's those other guys that still deserve to get in first. Marvin Harrison. I'd rather see Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce get in before him.
They not better than T.O.
Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt,
their numbers
both got a ring.
Their numbers do not equate to what T.O. did, and that's T.O.'s only shortcoming, that he didn't get a ring. That's it. It does not take.
He didn't get a ring in a lot of those situations because he blew up on his own team.
It does not.
He blew up on his own team. He doing sit-ups in his driveway and stuff.
It does not take away.
And I'm telling you, that other stuff, all that other noise and nonsense, is the reason he didn't make the Hall of Fame on the first try.
And that's bull. You do not let personal judgment cloud.
But that stuff happens all the time.
It shouldn't have happened here. T.O. is a first ballot.
He didn't deserve to get in on the first try.
His numbers speak for themselves.
I'm glad Marvin Harrison. I'm glad Marvin Harrison. He'll get it next year. It's fine.
And he shouldn't have to wait a year.
I totally disagree.
Shouldn't have to wait.
There are a lot of. I'm happy Marvin Harrison got in. I'm happy everybody else that got in.
That's
Tony
dirt.
Dungy. I'm really happy with. You know what Tony Dungy's average victory, average wins per season is?
It was like 65.
What? No, 10 wins per season.
I thought you meant like percentage.
No. 10 wins per season.
That sounds about right.
That's higher than any head coach in the history of the NFL. Tony Dungy. Yeah.
When it's all said and done?
Mm-hmm. Because of those years when he was like in the Jets and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, people forget about that because like he goes to New England, gets Tom Brady. They have like 10 or they have like 50 straight wins.
The Jets.
But it's like
it was bad.
Well, it's like let me see this list. Like
Brett Favre, Harrison, Tony Dungy, Kevin Green, Orlando Pace, Eddie DeBartolo, Ken Stabler. Ken Stabler got in a year too late.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like
Stanfield.
Like him passing away, he kind of
man. The NFL is notorious.
Eased their judge.
No, like, the NFL is notorious for doing that. They wait for the guy to die and then they bring him into the Hall of Fame.
I mean, it sounds terrible.
I'm serious.
Like, it sounds terrible. Like I don't even think Junior Seau waited that long, but I kind of feel like because his death was so tragic, and like he was a Hall of Famer.
He was a Hall of Famer
anyway.
Yeah.
But it's like
no, but the NFL's notorious for that.
Don't wait till someone dies to like.
Ken Stabler's been on the ballot forever, and like he won 2 Super Bowl rings, and then he dies, and then he becomes a Hall of Famer. I don't know. The NFL is just notorious for that BS.
But T.O. is the first ballot. I mean, congrats to everyone else on the list, but
T.O. will get it next year. If he doesn't get it next year, I have a real problem with it. Because like those 3 receivers that are like those 3 guys should get in. Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, and T.O. should be in next year. And Terrell Davis should get in, too.
He's not in?
No.
The running back?
No. He's still waiting.
What about, no, Moss hasn't been retired.
Nah, he's got, I think next year.
He got 1 year? 1 more year?
Next year or the year after. And then, like, the voters are going to have an interesting decision about McNabb. I think McNabb's coming up on his 5th year. Maybe it's next year.
I mean, like, my thing is, like, personal judgment shouldn't cloud the decision. Numbers don't lie. When T.O., was T.O., a headache, yeah, but what player isn't?
There are a lot of players that aren't. Where Torrey Holt, was he a headache?
Maybe you never heard, like, you probably never heard nothing, but that don't mean he wasn't a headache.
He
wasn't.
What about Marvin Harrison?
Marvin Harrison got in trouble.
Marvin Harrison killed a guy.
See, like, first ballot. He's a first ballot Hall. Marvin, like, he had a whole, like, that's literally why he's not in the league today or like a few years ago.
Come on, no, it's not. He was old and washed up.
No, he wasn't.
He didn't get charged with anything when he.
It doesn't matter. He still got released from the team. It's like, yeah, you got a gun charge. Yeah, you gone.
Yeah, but
you're done.
The only reason that probably Marvin Harris is not in prison right now, if the guy accusing him was like a known drug dealer, like a bad credential witness and stuff. So they're like, oh yeah, we're not gonna take that for what it is.
Man, T.O. first ballot.
Well, we'll see.
He
better get it next year.
He should have been first ballot.
All right, we're gonna switch over to the NBA. So Derek Fisher getting fired. That was pretty shocking.
I mean,
on a scale of 1 to 10, how shocked were you when you read that Derek Fisher got fired?
9.5.
Yeah, I just didn't see it coming.
I mean, like, they doing a lot better than what they were last year, but it's like. When you, when you involved, sorry to cut you off, but like when you involved with a former teammate's wife.
I was about to talk about this
when you're lying, saying you're going to California to see your family, but you're going to see her.
Yep.
That's
in the middle of training camp.
That's a problem.
I think his credibility was destroyed the moment that story came out. Matt Barnes is like, man, you guys are giving Derek Fisher this pass because he's Derek Fisher, and like, man, I get suspended and I get all this stuff. Like, no, man, this guy's messing around with my kids and messing around with my ex-wife and stuff. Like, and he gets a pass.
What was Derek Fisher? Like, he had some position in the player organization.
Oh yeah, he was president. Yeah, president of player.
Like
PA.
It was a lot of people a lot of players that didn't like Derek Fisher from that situation because like the whole lockout situation.
Mm-hmm.
He was like.
It wasn't his fault. I mean, come on.
He did rub according to the story, like he rubbed a lot of guys the wrong way with how he handled that situation. So it's all like, I mean, it's like, bro, like you can't do that. It's like you can't do that and not expect it to be known. Like you're, like for God's sake, you're Derek Fisher. Like people know who you are. Like people know who you are, and as far as I'm concerned, like. I wouldn't be surprised if he never coached a team again.
Again? Ever?
Ever.
I think he'll get in there.
That is like super baggage that you're dealing with.
I think that stuff. Derek Fisher has, besides like this transgression, I think he will be. He's been, a pretty solid NBA player. He's been a good locker room guy, and I think he will be. I think he'll get another shot. I give him another shot over maybe like a David Blatt or something. I don't know.
That's fair. Sort of.
No, but the thing is, who's going to coach that team now? You think he's going to... Because, Phil...
Kurt Rambis.
I know he's the interim, but in, big picture.
I mean, they targeted Luke Walton. I don't know how much of a good idea that is because it's not like Luke Walton was winning with his own players.
Yeah, I know.
I heard something about Tibbs.
I don't think so. He wants somebody with the triangle, man. I could see Brian Shaw or keep Kurt Rambis there.
Keep Kurt Rambis, but
I don't know, man. Derek Fisher, that whole situation just got messy really fast. I didn't see that firing coming at all. I figured Phil Jackson, because of his ties with Fisher to the Lakers and stuff, would just be like, oh, it's cool.
Derek Fisher, Phil Jackson, proved the point with that fight.
Yeah.
He's all like, man, I am serious.
Man, I have a feeling that if they hire Thibodeau, I feel like next year when Phil Jackson's contract's up, I feel like he's gonna be gone.
I heard something about him going back to LA anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
they'll give front office stuff to Thibodeau and he'll be able to run the team that way.
I heard that because the Lakers situation, that Jeannie Buss, she the Buss family owns the Lakers, but I forgot her brother's name. Jim, not Jim. Yeah, Jim Buss. He's in over his head, and when
Jeannie Buss and Phil Jackson are dating,
they're married.
I'm not.
They're married.
I don't think they're married yet.
Yeah.
Oh. Well.
And it's my thing is when Jerry Buss passed, everyone was expecting Jeannie.
Yep. With Phil
to take over.
Mm-hmm.
But Jim got the reins, and and ever since then, it's the team has gone. I mean, the team was already going downhill, but it's now
they got all the aging people on that team,
and it's now it's dude. So I think she's finally coming to terms with talking to Jim. Was bro, let me take over, let me get Phil in here, let me get someone that that players want
and respect.
Man,
if you have Phil Jackson, if Phil Jackson's in your meeting, you're a potential free agent, and in the meeting is Phil Jackson.
You walk in, the first person you see stand up and shake your hand is Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
You got me right there.
Mm-hmm.
11, his 11 rings on the table. Yeah, I did this. This is me. All 11 of these, got my blueprint on them.
And I'm gonna build you a team around you that can get me another one.
It's
another one. All right, so George Karl not being fired.
That surprised me.
I
would resign, honestly. I legit would resign.
No way. You realize that if he resigns, he forfeits the rest of his contract.
You're not
doing
care.
That. You're not doing that.
You're not gonna string me along where it's day to day. I don't know if I have a job or
George
not.
Karl, I'm gonna ride the ship until it goes down. I'm just gonna.
It's I was so big on this team, on the Sacramento team.
Man.
Because it's George Karl, this when it's all said and
you got Rondo who wants to run that fast-paced offense.
This is
man. DeMarcus Cousins is a nightmare, dude. He is.
Talk about a coach killer.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, it's dude, you are too talented to be this much of a headache.
You heard about the story about him they were gonna celebrate the Chinese New Year. Did you hear about that story?
No.
And they were gonna give out a shirt.
Oh, with the monkey on it?
Yeah, it had a monkey on it.
Yeah, he made them...
He threw a fuss because it had a monkey on it, and they pulled it from the promotion. Are you kidding me?
Black History Month. They tried to do this during Black History Month. I understand it's Chinese New Year, it's the year of the monkey, but that don't look right during Black History Month. That's the point he was trying to make.
I understand, but I just think I don't know, man. It just bothers me. You couldn't see past that stereotype, people they weren't trying to go there. Come on, man.
Why can't they just get Chinese shirts the Rockets and the Warriors got?
They were gonna give it to the fans though. It wasn't on their actual jersey.
I know
they were gonna have it on the jersey.
But still, he bottom line, he saw it, he did something about it. He was applauded by a lot of NBA personnel for doing that.
I don't you couldn't. Obviously, that didn't mean the stereotype, and you couldn't see past the stereotype. People don't make that kind of. I don't know. It just bothers me. Come on, man. You couldn't tell that that's not what they were going for.
I mean, I understand that they're going for Chinese New Year. It was the year of the monkey. They wanted to celebrate Chinese New Year. it was Black History Month.
Isn't the owner like from there, sort of?
He's Indian or something like that.
Yeah, like the owner's like from like.
But it's like,
man, but you can't resign if George Karl. I still think George Karl can swing this around. They're not that far out of it.
They're not.
And Houston is a mess right now. Like,
I think like that's like the firing of Kevin McHale still tops the cake. Like that was 11 games in. Like he told, cause like he was on the TNT pregame show.
Yeah.
He told people that the reason he was fired is because James Harden came to training camp out of shape.
Of course.
And I think Dwight Howard was.
He was recovering from some surgery, so he couldn't play back to backs.
Right, he couldn't Dwight Howard's inability to have back to back practices
at the beginning of the season. Yeah,
and it's like 11 games in. Like this is a team
with the Western Conference.
That was in the Western Conference Finals a year, like literally like 5 months before his firing, and they start off 4-7,
and you fire him.
And
Kevin McHale sounded pretty salty when he was like, man, I feel like it's so unfair sometimes with these coaches. Like, you just pull the plug so fast. Like, you don't even give it time to. That's why some of these franchises, like the Kings, are like the textbook example.
Like constant rebuilding mode because
it's not even rebuilding. Like, you don't even let a coach get in there and like start to work on this system and build this system. Like, that's why like people talk like all this stuff about the Sixers. Like, yeah, they're not winning a lot of games, but at least they're like doing it like, quote unquote, the right way. They're giving Brett Brown a lot of time. They're keeping this like the GM there. Like, they're giving him this time to like build up his own his system and get his own players in.
If Brett Brown was on any team not named Philadelphia, he's fired.
Yeah,
2 seasons.
Absolutely, yeah. Like they've been terrible.
But
they haven't given him him anything to work with.
I don't know I don't know what plan they got working, but I'm giving Philly 5 years.
They got to be competitive in like 3 years.
I'm giving.
They got to be like.
No, the reason I say 5 is because like they are forever drafting overseas talent that stays.
Yeah, I know.
Overseas.
They're like Dario Saric. He's gonna come
like
here.
When he comes, like they're gonna have a legit 3.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a legit 3. Like I understand like players like that overseas that want to stay overseas to like. Want to like build up?
No, they want to wait till their contract's not so much of the buyout because the NBA is only allowed to throw like so much at it.
Oh, like the Bulls did with Heritage.
They're only allowed to throw so much at the buyout. I think it's like it's not a lot.
It's not a lot, but it's a lot to them because like their contracts over there are like $3 million worth here. So it's like okay, it makes sense. But like when. Like, the whole plan, I don't know what the plan was with, like, Embiid, but they need to scratch that one because he's done. Just build around Okafor and go from there.
I mean, I sent you that if the Trailblazers had drafted Durant video, right?
No.
Oh, I got to send you that, dude. It's wild. It is really intense. Like, it ends up with Russell Westbrook and Stephen Curry both being on the Knicks at one point. Yeah. I'm gonna send it to you later, dude. It's awesome. It's one of my favorite videos ever. It is really cool.
Speaking of coaches getting fired, do you think how long do you give Hoiberg?
Not long. The problem is that we have so many injuries, man. Man, you know what's really grinds my gears? I cannot believe Derrick Rose didn't play the other night, dude. I cannot.
Oh, the whole soreness thing against
the general soreness against
Charlotte.
Charlotte, dude. How can you defend that?
I mean,
general soreness. You guys are on a 7-game road trip. You don't think all the players in the locker room are a little sore? Him not playing to it was embarrassing.
I mean, like I've always come to the defense of Rose, and even I can't defend this one.
Like, how do you not play? You don't have nothing injured. You're just generally sore.
Like you know me. Like I've come to. I've defended Rose. Since he's gotten hurt, and like even I can't find you could use the old like it's his body, he gotta listen to it and whatnot, but it's like you could have came up with a better term than general soreness. Like it could have just been like could have just been rest. You could have just said rest.
That's
like,
even
like,
then.
Like,
even then.
Like,
it
sounds better than general
No,
soreness.
dude. No, it doesn't. None of that sounds better, dude. Even if you had a cold, I don't care what
flu. Say something.
No, even if you had any of those things going on, dude, I don't think that's an excuse to miss that game. No Joe, no Jimmy, no Nico. The team needs you. We're gonna fall and burn. Like we're gonna crash and burn if you don't play. Like we don't have these.
Like, and the problem was, like the problem hit long before this point. Like,
yeah,
the problem was underachieving when it was just Dunleavy hurt.
Yeah, now it's everybody.
And it's like I can't believe that everyone I can't believe like Bulls fans thought that Dunleavy was gonna make that much of a difference. It's like
he's gonna be the savior.
Like what? It's like wait till we get Dunleavy back. What? No.
Said no one ever.
No one ever said that. Like my thing is like I'm disappointed in like McDermott and Snell and
we need to blow up the roster.
Who's ever at that small forward
position. You think
Pau
Gasol gets traded before the deadline?
I don't think he gets traded, but I do think he leaves in the offseason.
Yeah, me too.
Because if
he opts out,
he did, he opted out.
You can't opt out yet.
He did.
How can you?
He didn't opt out yet, but he told the team like he plans to.
Yeah, that doesn't mean he will opt out. If he gets like super injured, he might not opt out. Like,
God forbid.
The Bulls, knock on wood.
But it's like when you have someone like out of the three that we have at the small forward, because I don't count Bobby Portis as a small forward.
He's a power forward.
He's a power forward that can play.
No, he can't.
Small forward.
No, he can't.
No, like he has to now.
Yeah, but he can't play.
But he's not a small forward.
He can't guard small forwards.
And it's like I am so disappointed in like mostly like mostly Snell and McDermott, because when it's down to those two, Tony Snell is the more athletic.
Dude, Tony Snell just he looks lost all the time. He doesn't look like he gets it. Like he doesn't look like he gets it.
It's like bro, it's like you're like the only thing Doug has over you is shooting. Cause like when you think about it, like when the Bulls play a team like Cleveland or someone like that, Tony Snell is called in to guard LeBron. Like he don't do much. Like he don't do a good job.
McDermott can't guard LeBron.
McDermott can't guard LeBron. McDermott probably couldn't guard me. Like I've never seen someone run around on defense so much and still get torched. Like
James Harden.
How? Not even. Like it's that's close. But it's like if I'm Tony Snell and the only one Dunleavy's out, like I have a legit chance to solidify my spot
on the starting lineup.
In the starting lineup,
make it hard for them to remove me from that starting lineup.
Like give them something to look at. Like
and then it's not only do you not play well, you just don't even show up.
You're inconsistent. It's one game you shoot well, you do something good, you play good D, and then the next it's like what? What am I doing? Like he looks more lost than the Otto Porter play on Jimmy Butler when Otto Porter just got caught looking for like 5 minutes, and it's like, oh wait, my man's over there. Like, oh my god.
All right, so who do you think the player? Well, we're gonna talk about the deadline. There's some fun deadline trades that I pulled up that I think are gonna be fun. And so let's start with the player you think most likely to be traded.
You're gonna see a lot of small, no-name players that nobody really cares about.
I don't think the blockbuster is gonna happen. I think Al Horford might get traded.
That would be something. Like where would he go?
I think Boston. They gotta give up some of their young assets. So get Al Horford, get him to commit to a long-term deal. Put him at the 5 as their stretch 5.
I mean, like you've heard, I'm pretty sure like everyone that follows the basketball world have heard the same rumors that we have about like Melo, Blake Griffin. Like I heard something about it was like 5 potential destinations for Blake Griffin, because they was like talking about trading him after the whole fallout with the equipment manager. Like he punched twice and ended up breaking his hand and knocking him out for another month.
How hard do you hit him to have to break your hand?
Pretty hard. I mean,
like how hard you gotta hit him?
I don't know where he hit him, but maybe he was like aiming for a certain area and like hit the top, like hit his skull and broke his hand.
Man, you gotta hit somebody pretty hard.
You gotta hit somebody pretty hard to break your hand. But it's like the trade that intrigued me the most regarding Blake Griffin was Blake Griffin to Miami for Justice Winslow and I want to say Hassan Whiteside.
See that area, I would do that.
Like I would do that. Like I don't know. Like
I think the Clippers would probably say no because Hassan Whiteside seems like a knucklehead. Like he seems like he's like.
And Justice Winslow is.
They would give him the legitimate 3 they've been looking for a while.
Yeah.
And Hassan, but the thing is with the Hassan Whiteside, is because of his contract situation, he's gonna be like they won't have the bird rights because that's what Miami's problem is with trying to trade him even, because they don't have like with most free agents like when they're coming off that rookie deal, they have like the restricted rights on him. That's not the case with Whiteside. So like he can go where anyone he wants, and Miami wouldn't be able to match it. That's why they can't trade his contract away.
So that's why he's still there. Like,
yeah, they like he's there. He's more valuable just to play out the season because they can't do anything.
Like they can't release him because they still got to pay him, and
yeah.
they can't trade him away because they can't trade him away.
Yeah.
So it's like your hands are tied, and it's like as much as I like that trade. I mean, like you said, like Hassan Whiteside is so unpredictable.
He's combustible. Like he just seems like
I forgot what game they were playing when he was on national. Like it was national televised game, and he gets kicked out.
Spurs.
Like against the Spurs.
He threw an elbow at the big.
Like the big guy.
Yeah, the big foreign guy.
the seventh.
The guy looks like Jaws from the James Bond movies.
I know you're talking about. It's like, bro, like you're down 30. Like why? Like don't get mad at him. Get mad at your team. Like you're down.
I think I watched the elbow. It didn't look as bad as elbows I've seen. I think they just ejected him to keep it from getting worse.
Yeah.
Like it feels like one of those kind
of. And they
ejections.
ejected him because of who he is. Like he's had a history of
UFC stuff.
UFC stuff, and it's like really, bro.
There's a reason he's not in the starting lineup. So the Blake Griffin trade that I really like is this blockbuster trade right here, this 4-team trade where he ends up in Boston. So basically it'd be Boston would get Blake Griffin and Lance Stevenson. The Clippers would get Paul Millsap, Avery Bradley, and Kelly Olynyk. The Utah Jazz would get Jeff Teague, Thabo Sefolosha, and Terry Rozier. The Atlanta Hawks would get David Lee, Alec Burke, Trey Burke, and they would get the first-round pick of the Brooklyn Nets this season. So I think Boston finally gives them that superstar they've been looking for, and they get to unload one of those picks. And they don't really have to give up all that much to get them. I mean, they give up David Lee's expiring contract. They give Avery Bradley, who's a nice player but nothing really special. And then they get Kelly Olynyk, who's he's all right. He's nothing special. Like Blake Griffin's gonna take up all his minutes anyways. And for the Clippers, Paul Millsap I think would be a better fit in their offense than Blake Griffin. He can actually handle the ball a little bit better. Maybe he can step out and shoot the three at a higher percentage than Blake Griffin can. For Utah, you finally get a legitimate point guard with Jeff Teague. And for the Atlanta Hawks, you get that Brooklyn pick, which will allow you which should be like a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
Or top 5 pick at least, so you can get a young superstar to build around. And they also get to break up that log jam they have going on with point guard with Dennis Schroeder and Jeff Teague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
And poor Thabo. Going to the Jazz.
Going to the Jazz. I mean,
and for the Clippers, man, getting Avery Bradley as your backup, either your backup two guard as a defensive stopper, because they don't really have anybody like that on their roster right now. And Kelly Olynyk gives them a stretch 4, which they don't have right now on their roster.
And Paul Millsap just takes over where Blake Griffin left off, like you said. But
yeah.
Like you said, but he can shoot the outside ball better. He can put the ball on the floor better.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a real matchup problem for teams in the West if Paul Millsap was to go to.
And if they wanted to go small, they could put Kelly Olynyk at the 5 with Paul Millsap at the 4, whoever at the 3.
And it's
they could even put JJ Redick at the 3 and have Avery Bradley at the 2 and Chris Paul at the 1. That's a pretty solid 5.
And Blake Griffin's downfall is his jump shot consistency. It's all it's been times where all you gotta do is sag off him a little bit,
mm-hmm.
make him shoot, and you neutralize him because if he can't get to the cup, he's ineffective.
And it's not only that. He's not a great defender. He's not he gets hidden a lot by the fact that he has DeAndre Jordan behind him a lot.
See, people don't think about that.
What?
People don't think about that. He's not really a good defender.
He's not an on-ball defender. He's not a great on-ball defender, in my opinion. I think he looks really good because he's got DeAndre Jordan behind him, and he can use a lot of freedom to like try to get steals and such because he has that guy behind him, knowing that.
I kind of feel like that's every player on the Clippers not named Chris Paul.
Yeah, I totally agree. Right now with the way the roster's set up,
because Chris Paul,
Jamal Crawford don't defend nobody. Then you still have Jamal Crawford coming off of your back. Like you still have everybody Jamal Crawford coming out of your. Like that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice.
Like Jamal Crawford could win 6th Man of the Year every year.
He probably will win it this year. I can't think of
if
any.
He wanted to.
I can't think of any bench player that's had a legitimate impact on any team right now.
More than him?
Jamal Crawford.
More than no.
I can't think of anyone. Maybe Dennis Schroeder. But if they trade away Jeff Teague and he ends up starting a lot of games, he might not be eligible.
I mean, just to throw a name out there, no, he hasn't played enough games. I take that back. I was gonna say Brandon Jennings, but he's been
wildly inconsistent.
He just got back, and he just got back not too long ago.
I could see him getting traded to the Knicks in some kind of situation where Jose Calderon ends up on the Rockets, and Markieff Morris ends up on the Pistons too. I was just reading about this earlier when I was trying to find a good deal. Like Markieff Morris ends up back on the Pistons with his twin, and Phoenix gets Jose Calderon, and then the Knicks get Brandon Jennings. That's the deal. That's the way it works.
Okay.
Yeah. So they get Brandon Jennings.
Do the Bulls make a trade? Do they historically
do nothing?
Do nothing.
If I get a nickel and dime some trade, and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh yeah," the way it would mean nothing. Like when we trade for like players like John Salmons, it was like, "Oh yeah, we got John Salmons." Like everybody gets super fired up, and like a month later, like, "Oh, John Salmons is this guy."
I mean, like, hey, like. That
we don't have any assets. We don't
have any assets, but it's like when that trade brought Salmons and Brad Miller back to the Bulls, it was hype because it's like the Bulls had never I guess it's been a long time since the Bulls had a center that could actually go to work on the block like Brad Miller could, and Brad Miller could also stretch the floor.
Slowest drive.
But it worked.
Like he was barreling, like nobody would stop him.
But it's but it worked. It's it got to the point where he's driving. It's all like, what is he doing?
And then somehow he would score.
Somehow he would score. But those Bulls teams were so competitive because they were so scrappy and they took every possession like it was their last possession. See, this is the problem with this with this Bulls teams. They're spoiled. They go 62-20 1 year, and then they have a couple 50-win seasons, and it's like we're used to winning now, and it's all like they forgot the struggle.
It's not even that. The players on that roster right now weren't part of those teams. Like we don't have anybody that was part of those failing Bulls teams anymore. Like Kirk Heinrich's the only one. Joakim Noah, I guess.
You got. I mean, Salmons and Miller were long gone, but Rose's first 2 years, when you go 41-41, that first year, that series against Boston, that 7-game series, I've never seen the Bulls play better basketball.
Yeah, but the Celtics didn't have KG, but I guess it doesn't diminish it. It was still a great series.
It was the greatest. That was arguably the greatest playoff series.
If it wasn't in the first round, I would agree with you, but.
It's 7 overtime games?
Yeah, but if it was the first round, so
it doesn't matter. Boston ended up winning the championship. Yeah, they did. That was 08.
That's the year that Orlando went.
That was 08.
Because they didn't have KG in the playoffs.
That was 08.
They didn't have the playoffs.
KG came back.
No, he didn't.
He only missed that first series.
No, he didn't. I don't think so.
That was 08.
We're going to look it up after this.
I'm telling you, that was 08.
We're looking it up after this.
It was Rose's rookie year.
I'm telling you, it was the year that the Lakers beat Orlando in the finals.
No, it was Rose's rookie year because the first game, Rose goes into Boston
We're looking it up.
We're
looking it up after this.
Rose goes into the Boston Garden. He puts up 36 in the Bulls.
So another interesting trade. Another interesting trade is I have Carmelo Anthony going to the Raptors for Terrence Ross and a bunch of others throw-ins, Patrick Peterson and something else. DeMar Carroll.
I honestly don't see that trade working without DeMar DeRozan being involved.
Yeah, I mean, but.
Because it's if New York's going to pull that trade off with Melo, they're going to want DeMar DeRozan. Yeah. Terrence Ross.
Terrence Ross,
Patrick Peterson, DeMar Carroll.
Yeah.
They're just going to they was well, it's a good idea, but we want.
Well, I think Terrence Ross is expiring, same with Patrick Peterson. So you get a lot of money off your books, and you have DeMar Carroll locked up for a little while. And DeMar Carroll's a decent basketball player. You'd be able to...
Coming off an injury, yeah.
He didn't have to have surgery or anything, I don't think.
I don't think he had to either. I don't remember but like
I just thought it was intriguing, and I like the thought of that the way that starting lineup could look.
And it's kind of the reason why Atlanta is not the same team, because like you gotta replace his defensive ability.
Yeah, Ken Bazemore hasn't really been there. Tapas Efalosha's been injured, coming off that injury.
Right. Glad to see him back though.
Yeah, me too. I love Tapas Efalosha. I'm a big fan. So team needing to make a deal. Like, who do you think? Also, I think Markieff Morris definitely gets traded.
Oh yeah.
Did you see him blow up the other night?
Against Archie Goodwin?
Yeah.
And you try to downplay a situation like that, like, oh man, it's nothing. It's like, I mean,
what?
like who did they play? Was it Golden State?
Yeah.
And they like, I'm assuming they got shellacked.
It was close for a little while, and then that, but they got beat down at the end of the game. Like in the third quarter started, and it was just over. And it's like, it was close for a little while.
It's like you fire your coach after a successful first season. You go 48.
They didn't even make the playoffs.
They did. You did make this. You did make the playoffs, but the spectrum was looking up.
Like, I guess.
Like 48 wins. Like that's the most wins y'all have had
in a while.
Yeah,
everybody thought they'd be a lot worse. Okay, yeah.
Like you 2 games from going 50 and 32.
But this season, like, all their point guards are injured. They're using Archie Goodwin. Man, they should try to trade away all those guys. Like, man, besides Bledsoe, man, trade away Brandon Knight, trade away Markieff Morris. Like, PJ Tucker. I'd try to go like super young.
Brandon Knight has his own not top 10.
But Brandon Knight's a decent player. He can really score.
Like legit, like Brandon Knight can go off of 50 if he wants to. Mm-hmm. It's just like you've been on. Like he's just been.
His career is the only thing people remember for is the not stuff, like just his not top 10. Because people don't remember that game where he had like 50 points. He had like the triple double with 40 points or something.
And it's like when it's all said and done, when Brandon Knight retires, he will be remembered as the guy that jumped with DeAndre Jordan.
And he'll be the guy that Kyrie Irving crossed over.
Yeah, that's it. And the guy that like went up for a shot but didn't know what to do with the ball and threw it out of bounds.
Or the guy who missed that layup that would have won the game when he was in Milwaukee.
See, we just named like 5 players right there. It was like breakaway layup against Brooklyn, and it's like
they did win the game in overtime.
They won the game, but it's like
yeah. I mean, you got to give him the credit. He was able to get the steal. That he even gave him the opportunity to miss that layup.
The team that needs to make a deal.
Yeah,
Chicago.
Boston.
Chicago, Boston.
Boston. If they're gonna compete for anything, they need somebody who's like legitimate.
Where? What position?
I don't know.
Like Isaiah Thomas got the point guard spot locked up.
Well, you got Marcus Smart though. I think Isaiah Thomas probably be 6th man of the year. I don't think he starts.
Well, it depends on who they play.
Yeah. So if he doesn't start, I think he will probably win 6th man of the year.
How many games do you have to?
I don't remember. There's certain rules.
Chicago needs to make a deal. Boston needs to make a deal. Cleveland might try to make a deal.
I don't think they don't have any assets. Like they don't have that unless they trade away Kevin Love. They don't have anything they can really trade away. I think Sacramento needs to do something with some of that stuff. I don't know. I think they need to trade away DeMarcus Cousins. Like I know it's not gonna happen because he runs that franchise. He's like the GM. Like he's like the worst GM in the history of the NBA. Like. If you want to give LeBron a hard time for getting David Black, how about nobody cares? Like nobody's talking about DeMarcus Cousins. Like he gets fired, coaches fired all the time. He's a basket case, dude.
Like the thing.
I'd be trading if I was
Sacramento isn't winning. LeBron.
Why do you think?
LeBron is winning.
Yeah, because he's the best GM in the NBA.
LeBron is winning. Like if LeBron was unsuccessful, like he would be in the same category.
So nobody would be talking about it. Oh. If you think if LeBron James wasn't winning games,
people will be talking about it, but it's like people will be talking about it because it's LeBron. People aren't talking about DeMarcus Cousins because
it's the Kings.
It's the Kings, and
the franchise just run bad.
Literally, the last time Sacramento was even relevant or good was 2001 when they should have beat the Lakers, but they didn't.
No, Billy Donovan or whatever the
Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan's doing a great job in OKC.
Hold on.
He is.
It's really hard to say he's doing a great job because they look like the same team under Scott Brooks.
They do.
They just have a healthy Kevin Durant this season.
I heard the Knicks are trying to look at him too. I'm sorry, though. Scott Brooks. I should have brought that up earlier.
No way.
Didn't think about it.
They're gonna hire unless Phil Jackson's leaving. They're gonna hire somebody that does the triangle because he loves the triangle.
What's so great about the triangle?
It promotes ball movement.
Like you need the pieces.
Yes, I understand. Like, but Jose Calderon can do it.
And New York does not.
They have a point guard.
They have one piece, 1.5.
Two. They have Porzingis and they have Carmelo. They have a great wing player and they have a dominant inside guy. And then if you consider Jose Calderon still a good point guard,
I don't.
Come on.
He's good at free throws.
He's good. He had a 64. He had a 50-40-90 season. He would have if he had been eligible.
He had the quietest 50-40-90 season.
He wasn't eligible because he didn't shoot enough free throws.
Wow. Quietest 50-40-90 season I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, he wasn't technically eligible. I think Steve Kerr had a 50-40-90 season with the same thing, where he wasn't eligible because he didn't shoot enough free throws. 1 year. What about out west? Team names we trade out west. Do you think Houston really needs to get rid of Dwight Howard? And will they?
No. No and no.
I don't think the team problem there is really Dwight Howard.
It's not.
I think
it's management.
No, they had
it's not.
I was watching Sports Nation yesterday or the day before, and they had a stat. So it's ISO plays ran for you. The Golden State Warriors have like 330 ISO plays as a team.
James Harden has
437 by himself. He has more ISO plays than the entire Golden State Warrior team. The entire team!
I saw a stat, like, not along the same lines as that, but it was like, because we all know how horrible of a free throw shooter DeAndre Jordan is.
Yeah.
He has missed more free throws than the entire Orlando Magic team.
What?
Like, I saw that, I'm all like, how is that even possible? Then you got to think about, no, that wasn't him. That was Andre Drummond, who had the 36 free throw attempts. It's like James Harden has over 400 ISO plays.
Yeah.
The Golden State Warriors have
300 and something. 300.
Over 300.
Yeah.
As a team.
Yeah. All 13 guys. That's 10 ISO. That's like 10 ISOs a player.
And I'm gonna assume 25% of that 300 is probably Steph.
I don't know. They don't really run a lot of ISO.
Like honestly, their ISO is Steph Curry. Like
they don't run a lot of ISO though. Like, that's the thing about the Golden State. They don't run a lot of ISO.
They probably ISO Draymond Green more than any player on that team.
No way. Draymond Green, I don't think ISO's all that much. He doesn't really. I don't think he takes people off the dribble. He looks for the pass.
I mean, he takes people off the dribble.
Yeah, but the ISO. They're talking about ISO like with the shot, like looking for the shot. So like Stephen Curry maybe, but man, their offense is just incredible. Like the way the Warriors, like the way they're moving the basketball, it's so beautiful to watch.
And it's like people like they brought small ball to the game. Like small ball has been in the league before them.
Yeah, Atlanta had a little bit of that when they last year.
Like small ball has been in the league before them. It's just the fact that how they play is like when you got like that whole run and gun mentality. It's like Phoenix tried it with Steve Nash and that crew.
Man, they almost pulled it off.
And they almost pulled it off. Like
and they had Barbosa and the Matrix.
What was D'Antoni? 7 seconds.
Yeah.
7 seconds or less, and it's like it worked because it's like when the team like when your opposing team scores, and
but it's just like the Chip Kelly thing. Like it's just too fast. You can't it's hard to hold a lead when you're shooting it that fast. Like when.
And are you prone to give up a lot?
You miss a lot
if you're prone to give up a lot of points, yeah. But it's like Golden State. It's like you people can only go tick for tack with Golden State for so long because the minute the other team misses, and Golden State hits 2 or 3 shots in a row, and the minute
over,
it's
like
over.
That's what happened to Oklahoma City.
It's
like that game was
that was the closest game they've had all season.
It was a really close game, and then all of a sudden, like Oklahoma City had 2 empty possessions in a row, and the game was just over. Like that's it, 2 empty possessions in a row, and the game was over.
If you're down 3 against Golden State,
you're in trouble.
And it's like, and you come down with the chance to cut it to 1 or tie it, and you don't.
Yeah, it's
game over.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because it's like the game in Chicago against the Bulls is like the Bulls cut it to like, I think the closest they got it's like after the Golden State took off on like the first time was like I want to say 9, maybe 5 at the least. And then
how long we played them in Chicago?
Yeah, like
dude, they beat us by 30.
They beat like the first. I'm talking about like before that.
Oh, dude, come
on. Before that,
we're talking about crunch time. We're not talking about like when you're.
So
up.
what is crunch time?
It's less.
What are you talking about? It doesn't matter.
Last 4 minutes of the game.
It doesn't matter.
Absolutely, dude.
Golden State can take off at any given point. Like,
no,
do you realize they put up 42 against Houston in the first quarter?
The first quarter is not considered crunch time. When you get like we were never in that game until we started off kind of close at the beginning of the first quarter, and then it was over.
In the second quarter,
it was over. Like it was never really crunch time.
Like,
there was no crunch time to be had in that game.
And it's like the Bulls they made like whenever the Bulls made a run, they would like Golden State would like just call the timeout, and then they would
beat us by 30.
Let me finish. The Bulls they would try to make a run. They would make some sort of run, some half a run, and then Golden State would call the timeout because Golden State does have empty possessions. Like, it does happen to them.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't happen that often, but it happens. And it's all like, so like Luke won't call the timeout, and then you come back from the timeout, and it's all like, well,
steamroll.
That goes our momentum. But it's like they're gonna like
that one play by Golden State against Houston, where they started with the block by Steph Curry, and then he takes it, gives it to Draymond Green, gets it back, and he throws that pass behind his back. Around the other, like right to Andre Iguodala, right to Barbosa,
and he just lives it up and it's like timeout after that. It's like that one play killed Houston's whole morale.
Like they were coming back.
It was like at one point they were winning.
Like, James Harden was balling a little bit.
It's like okay, James Harden, you
I see you
been talking this whole lot of trash. Like, man, I should have been MVP, but you played
get your coach fired already.
Get your coach fired after 11 games.
Get the Dwight Howard traded away.
Potentially.
Who would you like to see traded? Like, what do you think? What would you like to see if something happen? Let's talk about the Bulls. What do you want to see the Bulls do? You want to see them blow it up, or do you think we should take a shot at this? Like, taking a shot would be like trying to work a trade for Rudy Gay.
I mean, what's...
Because I can't think of anybody else that we could trade for that would improve us gradually. As much as Rudy Gay would.
What's crazy, because, what are we, 20, 28, and 24? Something like that?
No, I think we're, right at 500. I think we're, 27 and 27, something like that.
No, we're, a game or two over.
I don't think so.
I want to say we're, a game or two
We've
over.
lost, 4 games in a row. I think we're 27 and 27. Or 26 and 27.
It's, I want to say we're, 27 and 24.
I don't think so.
But I kind of feel like, we are 27 to 25.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So we're 2 games over 500. What's crazy is if they get their act right, we could still win 50 games.
I don't think.
I don't see it. I really don't. What's crazy is if they get their act together, we can still win 50 games. That being said, we couldn't lose no more than 7 games for the rest of the season.
It's not going to happen. We're just too wildly inconsistent. We have no identity on offense. So I feel like we should we should really blow it up. We should try to see if we can get some assets for Pau Gasol. I mean, there are teams in the NBA that could use a big man like Pau Gasol, and he said he's going to opt out. I don't think he's going to come back. Try to trade Chops Gibson, go young, start Bobby Portis a lot of minutes, give him some opportunity to actually play.
Because even though he's
try to get see if we can get a good lottery pick and get.
Because they say he's
last time we were in the lottery, we got Derrick Rose.
And they say Bobby Portis is inconsistent. He's a rookie. That's expected. He's a rookie. What's not okay is McDermott or Snell being inconsistent.
Yeah, I'd trade them away too. I don't think they're part of the future. I don't think they're part of the big picture.
I would blow my thing is you have guys like Cameron Bairstow
playing even 8 minutes.
8 minutes, and it's you're you are terrible. I wouldn't have even wasted my.
When he was the other night I saw him in the starting lineup. I was like, what world is this? What year is it?
Well, I wouldn't even waste my 2nd round draft pick on you, dude. You are that awful. You are just awful. I look back and I look at Draymond Green. It's if what would have happened if Foreman and Paxson would have listened to Tibbs. And it was man, I want Draymond Green.
He never would have became this guy. I don't think he would never have been this
player.
We
don't know now.
We know.
We don't know.
We know. He never would have been this.
Because
dynamic.
Marcus Teague was an answer like that. That literally has to be the worst.
I love my favorite. I love the fact that we traded him away and he was like still on the bench.
Like, that literally has to be the worst draft choice in the history.
The
of
worst.
terrible draft.
What about Joel Embiid? What about Greg Oden? What about
Okay, Greg Oden had promise.
Darko Milicic.
Greg Oden had promise.
Yeah,
let's be real. Greg
Oden
had
about
promise.
Joel Embiid?
Like, he was hurt coming out of Kansas. Like, I wouldn't have.
Darko, Adam Morrison. There are worse picks.
At least they played. I mean, like
Kwame Brown.
I mean, like
Marcus Teague played.
Like when?
When Derrick Rose was your every season.
Everyone outside of Joel Embiid played.
Okay.
Adam Morrison, for God's sakes, has 2 championship rings. Not saying he has anything to do with them, but he still played.
Kwame Brown became Pau Gasol, which led them to win a championship.
Sort of.
Good for Kwame Brown.
Marcus Teague does nothing but takes up a spot on the bench.
I don't think he's even in the league right now.
Like,
who knows what he's doing?
It's like, bruh, like, you're not even a better brother. Like, I don't think you've ever been the better brother. Like, the one time you play against your brother, he makes you fall.
Well, did he win a national championship?
Anthony Davis won the national championship.
He still was on the roster. He gets whatever they give you.
He literally.
Is it a ring? They give you a ring?
All he did was pass the ball.
What do you do with it?
I think you get a ring.
Is it a ring?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen a national championship ring.
I think you get a ring. And, like, all he literally did was pass the ball to Anthony Davis.
And Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Because, like, let's be real. Only 2, because, like, the starting 5 announced they were going pro after the championship. And it's like, I'm looking at the press conference, and literally 2 players talked. Anthony Davis and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Jeff Teague looked like a deer. Marcus Teague looked like a deer in the headlights at that press conference. It's all like, I'm just.
Who was the rest of the players on that roster?
See, you can't, like.
Who was their shooting guard?
See.
Did Michael Kidd-Gilchrist play small forward?
Yeah, he was a 3.
No, I know him, but did he play shooting guard? Who was their center?
Davis.
Oh, he didn't play power forward?
No.
Oh, so who was their power forward? Patrick Patterson?
No, he was gone. Like, he's so much older than them. It's not even funny.
Okay. All right.
Like, legit. Like out of that starting 5, only 2 players were more NBA ready. Anthony Davis more than any of them.
Anthony Davis. Oh, in that thing, the Kevin Durant thing I talked to you about. Anthony Davis ends up on the Wizards with John Wall. You got, dude. Like, that video was wild, dude. Like,
wow.
Yeah. That video was fun.
And it's like back to like bad draft choices. Like, the Bulls have a history of making terrible decisions.
Gibson?
Okay, that was a good one. Jimmy Butler was a good one. And it's like,
we've had, come on, Kirk Heinrich.
When you had the chance to draft LaMarcus Aldridge and you trade him for Tyrese
Thomas had potential at the time.
When
we first drafted him. When you drafted him.
Was he
super athletic?
Was he a highlight reel? Yeah, like anytime.
He did help us win that playoff game when he hit that jump shot in overtime.
Anytime someone tried to float something down the lane, he was at the center.
If we had ended up with Marcus Aldridge, we wouldn't have Derrick Rose.
We wouldn't have Derrick. So what?
Oh.
Like, honestly,
we wouldn't have the youngest MVP in the history of the NBA.
Okay, that's true. Like, Derrick, like, the last draft pick to get it right for the was what, Jimmy Butler? Can we agree? Even though it was kind of like,
who did we take last year?
Oh, well, Bobby Portis, but the jury's still out on that.
No, the year before we took Doug McDermott, who looks like a bust.
We traded for Doug McDermott.
Traded away 2 first-round picks to get him.
Just some
we could have
Nurkic and Gary Harris. Like, Nurkic is...
Yeah, and he can play, man.
He can play. That's a solid low-post guy.
He was in the Rising Stars Challenge last night, and where's Doug McDermott? At home. Like, he wasn't even invited to the game. Did you watch the game last night, the Rising Stars?
Yeah, I saw Jabari Windmill.
Yeah. And he looks healthy.
Yeah.
Man, Zach LaVine
put up 30.
Emmanuel Mudiay, 30 and 10.
And I think LaVine got, what he get?
30 points.
He got MVP?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched the celebrity game just because I like to see I like to see the celebrities talk.
I watched that game and I wanted to turn it off, but there was nothing else on.
There was nothing else. I literally watched it just because so many celebrities say they can ball and say they can do this, and then well, here's your chance.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah.
Man, I don't. Kevin Hart was a little annoying last night in that game. Like, he was a little annoying. I think Kevin Hart's very funny, but he wasn't funny last night.
I mean, but actually, Kevin Hart is one of the few celebrities that can actually.
I know, but he wasn't. He was trying so hard to be funny last night. It just didn't work. And he goes into the stands and comes back out in his uniform. I like that Drake had his kid play for a little while. That was fun.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add? So the trade deadline is the 18th. We're gonna talk about it next week. We're gonna talk about the deals that go down. I love the trade deadline. It's like one of the most it's like Christmas. I love just waiting for the trades to hear about, see what comes down, like all these rumors and see what happens. It's such an exciting day. The NBA trade deadline, because franchises can be totally changed. It's totally changed, based on one deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last thing to add. T.O. should have been first ballot. I'm done.
Stop it.
T.O. first ballot.
Peace out.
Numbers never lie.
Peace out, guys. We'll see you next week.
Numbers never lie.
Have a good week.
T.O. was first ballot. Numbers never lie.